Today, I want to finally take a moment to give you my 3-month review of the Cartier Panthere de Graphique chain bag in the mini size. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If we can find it within ourselves to buy fine jewelry from Hermes and Chanel with their respective roots in saddle making and seamstressing, then we really ought to give Cartier a chance to dabble in leather goods. It's not really fair for us to tell Cartier to stay in their own lane while Chanel and Hermes are swerving around and ignoring their lanes altogether. Blinkers be damned and all. Like, we all know that the price of Hermes and Chanel fine jewelry easily rivals Cartier's price point. So in addition to sharing my thoughts on my new bag and just chatting about these lane-changing crossover attempts, I'll also be showing you my very minimal, very modest Cartier collection. So I hope you enjoy this video. Welcome back to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, I would love to grow this channel. So thank you to those of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, or shared my videos in the past. And thank you for watching this video today. Let's get right into the bag, shall we? No story time or playing about when it comes to the where, when, and why I bought this bag. I've touched on all of that and more in several videos by now. So let's just start with her player stats. So this is in the mini size, which is the middle child of the Panthere Graphique handbag family. There's also a micro and a small. Now the mini here measures about 5.5 inches tall, just under 8 inches long, and about under 3.5 inches deep. The small is about 1 inch larger all over, but the micro is like tiny. It's not like 1 inch smaller. It's more like 2 inches smaller all the way around. And interestingly enough, the strap design for the micro size is different as well. It's all leather except for the toggly bits where you can actually remove the strap, which is not possible for the other two sizes. Now, I personally think the mini size is the perfect size for this style of chain flap bag. I mean, if you're into micro bags, then granted, I think the micro is actually super cute. I got a chance to try one on in the beautiful burgundy color, which really just cemented that color for me. But the micro feels more like an accessory because it's essentially a coin pouch with a strap. Like, it clearly doesn't hold a phone. At most, we're talking about a couple of cards and maybe a lippy. But at the other end of the spectrum, the small feels a little too big for this style of bag, especially since she's not the slimmest of bags, so she can look a little bit boxier. So move aside middle child syndrome. I think the mini size is the best one size fits most option. So while this is clearly in black, in terms of color options, I do feel like Cartier releases new seasonal colors quite often, which is nice. But black was the only color I was considering until I tried on the burgundy, and I have since also made a whole other video about my newfound love and respect for that color, including adding my very first burgundy bag right there. Now, I will link both videos if you missed them, but really black was my top priority for this style because I have a black cat. So black was the most fitting, the most, sentimental choice, which is terrible because I do also have a gray cat, but she's not the classiest of ladies, you know. I would need to find a bag that better represents her. But maybe if this came in the color gray with silver hardware, I wouldn't be opposed either to adding something in that colorway, I guess. Okay, now we kind of got off topic. Now, obviously, the pièce de résistance of this bag is the Panthere buckle detail. I mean, this is the sole reason why I bought this bag. Plus, let me just see if I can give you a close-up without blinding you. This buckle is simply just stunning. The detail of the leather and the gold geometric lines, like, it's just gorgeous. Now, I was told each buckle is completely hand assembled. Let me know if you have heard the same. Now, put everything together. I think this is such a fun yet elegant statement bag, especially for my cat lovers out there. This is about as classy as you get for a cat-themed bag without going full-on crazy cat lady. Especially in the black and gold color, it definitely gives the bag a more formal, more elevated look. However, on the downside, I may have already mentioned that I did find it a little hard to style during the summer months. But luckily, this bag has other colorways that I think are better suited for spring, summer. Now with us currently going into fall, winter though, I've been running into less of that issue. I think the black and gold is just made for the cooler months. But yes, you have plenty of other colors if black and gold is a little too formal or too wintry for your taste. Also, the version I have is in plain calfskin. And just by feel, the leather is surprisingly lightweight. Like, this bag is lighter than it looks. And this being my first experience with Cartier's pebbled leather, I do find that it has a really nice texture to it. It feels soft, but still sturdy and durable at the same time. Now, granted, I don't know how water resistant this leather is. I have yet to take her out into the rain, but I would imagine given the graining, she would do just fine. That being said, this bag also comes in a version made of quilted calfskin, but that one is a little pricier than this. I honestly prefer the look of the plain calfskin. Like, no offense, the other version looks a little too Marvel Black Panther for my taste. It looks like the same pattern as his onesie, doesn't it? Now, before we take a peek inside, let's just also go over her strap situation. You essentially have two options when it comes to how to wear this bag. You can either wear this as a crossbody or a shoulder bag. I'm going to insert mod shots of how it looks on me crossbody. Like, the chain is definitely on the lengthier side. I would say it's actually a little on the long side for me, but I am only 5'3". However, like I said, in the colder months, when you add a puffy coat or a thick knit sweater, then it starts to look a lot more proportional on my frame. Now, just FYI, visually, when you are wearing it crossbody, the chain is designed to look like a little top handle, since this doesn't slip all the way through the double grommets, but it's not like you can actually top handle it, because it will just pull straight through into a double strap. Now, it's not a deal breaker or anything. I quite like the visual effect of having a faux top handle, but that being said, if you pull the chain through the double grommets, and then you essentially have a shoulder bag. Again, I'll insert mod shots of how that looks like on my frame. So essentially, while one chain still has the little shoulder pad, the length of the chain does not. Now, I do actually like the shoulder pad. I feel like it helps to keep the strap in place, especially when worn as a shoulder bag. So overall, while the chain is not removable or adjustable, I think it's a fairly universal length that's easy to work with. All right, let's finally open her up. As you can see, the flap is actually really easy to work with. It's not a turn lock, it's not a snap button closure, it's not magnetic. It's a clasp that literally just slides in and out of place, which locks the flap back into place. You hear that? That's it. Now, once you open the flap, on the inside right here, there's a golden hot stamped Cartier signature. And if we take a look at the inside, all we have is one main compartment, one flap pocket in the back, and another one in the front that actually comes with a removable mirror. And also, while the underside of the flap is that same pebbled calfskin, the actual lining of the bag is a really soft, really luxurious black lambskin. I'll probably also just insert some photos or a quick video on what fits. I mean, for being a mini bag, she definitely is a decent size. Like, she fits a lot more than just my daily essentials, which for me are just my phone, wallet, keys, hand sanitizer, and chapstick. My not so daily essentials include maybe sunglasses, and my travel essentials include an umbrella and a packable bag. And so you can see, even with these two super bulky items, I actually still have quite a bit of room left. Now, if I wanted to fit everything, including like passports and stuff like that, it's definitely going to be a little tough. But again, she still fits a respectable amount. Plus, I don't see this being a bag I would necessarily take for traveling anyways. I'm trying to think of what bags I can compare her to because I have a feeling she's very similar in size to the Chanel Mini, I think, but I don't have a Chanel Mini because I opted to buy this over Chanel Mini that day. But I do have a Chanel Walk, and that's just gonna have to do for comparison's sake. As you can see, the Cartier bag is actually quite a bit bigger. And here's my Mary Frances bag, which is kind of like the Chanel Mini, I think, or at least the Chanel Mini reissue. So again, you can get a quick comparison. Again, still just a tad bit thicker. Next, let's talk about my general thoughts about price. Now, in the US, the Mini is priced at $3,500, while the small is priced at $3,800. But the Micro, so that's the next size down, is only $1,270. So that's like a third of the price of the Mini. Like, that to me is wild. But if we're just going by size to price ratio, then that makes sense. But yeah, this bag is not cheap, even by designer standards. Like, in that same $3,500, $3,800 range, you could get an Hermes Evelyn PM, or the Loewe Flamingo in the medium size, or you could get the Bottega mini sardine bag. Heck, you could get the new Louis Vuitton side trunk in the PM size, right? Like, it's up there price-wise, which interestingly enough, I think Tiffany & Company took a slightly different approach because currently their most expensive bag is still under $2,500, which, by the way, what do we think of Tiffany & Co.'s current leather goods lineup? Now, granted, they don't seem to be taking that assignment as seriously as Cartier because I think they have like, what, 2 major lines at the moment, maybe? I think the Return to Tiffany line is the big one that they still carry, and it's, I think, a couple of years old by now, but I actually quite like it, to be honest, but purely as a novelty bag. I think just for giggles, if I had an extra $1,750 lying around, I would opt for the mini size in the trademark Tiffany blue color. I mean, for that price, it's cute, right? But Cartier is really trying to be taken seriously, both in terms of their pricing and their collection range, which is pretty extensive for a fine jewelry company, which, by the way, they have also recently released a new handbag line called the Panthere Double, or Double if you're French. And those are some serious prices at $4,500, give or take. Like, the Panthere handles are a cute touch, but not like $4,500 cute, in my opinion. So yeah, while their Panther themed leather goods tend to be on the more expensive side, Cartier does have a couple of more affordable leather lines as well that I think are worth looking into. Like their Trinity collection, for example. A lot of the pieces are priced under $2,500. And I wish I remembered to try on the mini Trinity bag when I was in the boutique because I think that one is so well priced at $1,600. Also, they have a whole slew of proper SLGs in the Panther Graphique collection. So if you're just wanting to dip your toes into Cartier's leathery waters, then that's a great way to do it because they are priced relatively decently. So they're way more affordable than their handbags. Like, I wouldn't mind having the business card holder with zip. I think that's about $640. But really what would be most useful for me is just the simple card holder for about $345. However, I'm not willing to do a blind buy off the website, not just because I'm working really hard to stop doing that. If you watch this other video, you'll know why. But also, especially when it comes to the card holder, I would just need to try it on in store with my Celine sunglasses pouch. Again, if you watch that video, you know why as well. So with this new handbag edition, my Cartier collection now consists of an everyday-ish bag, my vintage work briefcase, which I bought pre-loved from the Real, which also comes with a little pouch, which actually matches the inside of the bag, my Trinity rope bracelet, which my husband now also has a matching one, my Trinity ring in the small version, and my vintage Baby Santos octagon watch in the 24mm size. Now, I'm honestly pretty darn happy with my current Cartier collection. In the future, maybe I wouldn't mind adding the Panthere ring or the bangle. The bangle is really growing on me as well. Maybe the card holder and maybe a Trinity bag, but these are all more of a long-term wish list. I don't think I will realistically be adding anything else for the rest of the year from Cartier. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is value retention. While I'm happy to have this bag in my collection, really I am. However, I do recognize that Cartier handbags do not hold their value the same way that Hermes fine jewelry doesn't hold its value. So if you want to save some money, like a lot of money, let's be honest, then I would highly recommend you go the pre-loved route. Like the Real once dropped this exact bag in pristine condition for $2,000. That's like $1,500 off the retail price for a brand new bag. Like that's crazy. And the same goes for vintage Cartier handbags. Like this briefcase, which I did recently dress her up with a little Dior Mitza on the handle. I bought this for around $300. So yeah, that's a heck of a deal there. But again, this is a vintage bag though. Yeah, but in general, you are going to save yourself a lot of money going the pre-loved route. And oh, apparently Fashionphile is too good to sell Cartier handbags, which I'm so curious to know the reason why, since they do sell bags from like Marc Jacobs and the likes. So the Real is where I've found the best deals for Cartier bags, both new and vintage. So let me know what you think of Hermes and Chanel selling fine jewelry and the likes of Tiffany and Cartier selling leather goods. Oh, and Bulgari, I totally forgot about their Serpenti line. Like, yay or nay? I feel like I've seen several videos on this topic and opinions remain quite divided, so let me know where you stand. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.